hide the truth so asem asi amanfo ahyase pointy omonsa edisi the incoming president, which is president-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Adintra, you say according to campaign John Dramani Mahama Odi Ibrahim Traore, Burkina president, Nassim Bem say on no partnership no, on my friends no. Dodona akotu sasem no. Most of the Western journalists and most of the West African and East African journalists they said, no, there is something behind the bar. Some say, who says he say, John Dramani Mahama, player opposite way, and he said, only Westerns ever be partnership. Nemu omunkoye cordial friends like before. Say, omutimi Bora Africa, Ghana, the Japadi, and some finger because of say ye namphone tea near Jamo Modico. But this time round, Omu John Dramani Mahama say oni omu negotiations kwa ene because it said ye Burkina for a year said ye beya so mo ba oni omu bisi nkondwa nipewi be ye wi mam na chese ko balisa na celebration na Africa person die mu free abofo no sem eno line na bi ena e bi a John Dramani Mahama person faso. But or in a wise way, the pageant and also too much. Now, the Hunkoye are performing. Now, the video be Baby Toa, journalists be or Kassaye, not all children same. Abraham John Dramani Mahama campaign, is some of kind or bonnet toffer. Na new tea as semi mine a Kafa John Dramani Mahama. And this is the one the hope say beer. Said the biblim yes he suffer no Ibrahim Traore ba ya obi bie abifo ni mehu se no yes you bit me and in the way of even enkoye kurisem bia nemum in a dynamic form said the beya ye ho nkoba time too much emfama brofo no amanfo binum esisu se woma dwimu no musisu se US military base eye Ronaldo Danko Akufo-Addo the president oba bi free so oni na ban esen sign card am US for the omu base di ba Ghana na man for su say be yim park John Dramani Mahama owu officer immediately onyi fam firi ho na eno kwampo e the threat e bo man kwampo too much video no e have sima binu yense.
Can Ghana's new president remind the West they are dealing with a strong leader and not a puppet? John Mahama's victory isn't just about Ghana, it's about something much bigger. If you think Africa is just going to sit back and let the West call all the shots, think again. Ghana's shift under Mahama's leadership is like a massive thunderclap signaling the end of an era, where Africa plays second fiddle to Western interests. This isn't just about Ghana's foreign policy, it's about Africa rejecting centuries of exploitation and taking its seat at the global table. But what is Mahama doing differently? Let's find out. Mahama didn't just win a presidential election, he won a battle for Ghana's soul. This is about economic independence. Ghana's been sucked dry by foreign interests for far too long. Foreign loans, foreign companies, foreign control. But Mahama? He's had enough. He's got a plan, and it's not to follow Western orders. Let's break it down. Ghana has been one of the most economically dependent nations in Africa, relying on the West for foreign aid, loans, and development assistance. But that system has done nothing but keep Ghana in a cycle of debt and dependence. Mahama is flipping the script. He's talking about real self-sufficiency. It's not just about keeping the lights on or propping up a broken system. It's about creating a sustainable economy, driven by Ghanaians for Ghanaians.
It is the reason we would be initiating important governance reforms and sometimes initiate severe measures in the next 4 years to reset our nation and bring it back on track as the Black Star of Africa. The journey is not going to be easy, my brothers and sisters, because the outgoing government has plunged our dear nation into an abyss. However, we are determined to work together with you to build the Ghana we want. And I am certain that we shall win the battle. We intend to work together to restore the shattered confidence in our politics and governance system.
This is about building a country that doesn't rely on foreign handouts, but stands on its own 2 feet. Ghana can't thrive if it's constantly looking to the West for solutions. And Mahama knows this. He's got a vision for homegrown solutions, empowering local industries, cutting out the middleman, and putting Ghanaian businesses in the driver's seat. He's aiming to boost agriculture, improve infrastructure, and invest in education and technology. But here's the kicker. He's not doing it for Ghana alone. Mahama's leadership is a blueprint for other African nations to follow. It's time to stop begging the West for help and start making things happen at home. But how does Mahama intend to do this without falling into the same trap of relying on Western investment? How does Ghana forge ahead without foreign influence? The answer is simple: unity. It's not just about one country, it's about building an empire, and Ghana is leading the charge. Ghana isn't in this fight alone. For decades, the nation has been fighting alongside other African countries that share the same vision: a united Africa, free from foreign dominance. Mahama's vision is clear. Africa has to stop depending on the West for everything. From Mali to Burkina Faso, countries are finding common ground in resisting neo-imperialism. And guess who's leading the charge? You guessed it, Ghana. The power of this collaboration cannot be overstated. The African Union AU and ECOWAS have always played vital roles in maintaining regional peace and promoting economic cooperation. But under Mahama's leadership, Ghana is poised to take a more prominent role in shaping the continent's destiny. The focus is no longer on appeasing Western powers. It's about building African solidarity. Ghana has always been a strategic player in West Africa, but Mahama is taking it to the next level. His leadership is about more than just diplomatic visits and trade deals. It's about building a network of mutual support. Think of it like a family. When one country in Africa wins, all of Africa wins. Mahama is setting the stage for a future where African nations stand united against the forces of neo-colonialism, working together for mutual benefit. His collaboration with countries like Mali and Burkina Faso isn't just about economic growth. It's about creating a solid front against Western interference. But what can be done? Ghana gave practical examples. Ghana just dropped the mic and said, "We're done with foreign military bases." The US thought they could just keep their troops stationed in Africa, using the continent as a chessboard for their own game. But guess what? Ghana said, not anymore. Ghana decided to close all US military bases. The closure wasn't some spur-of-the-moment decision. It was a well-planned move to assert sovereignty, to tell the West that Ghana is no longer a puppet. You don't get to dictate our future, not anymore. The US had long claimed its presence was for security purposes, fighting terrorism and stabilizing the region. But let's be real here. Ghana wasn't buying it. The people of Ghana and the wider African community had grown weary of foreign military presence, which often disguised itself as protection while serving Western interests. When Mahama stepped into office, he made it clear that Ghana would no longer be part of that game. The base closure was an act of defiance, an attempt to finally say, we will handle our security without relying on foreign military muscle. But the question lingers. Is this the start of something bigger? Ghana isn't the first African nation to take action against foreign military bases, and it definitely won't be the last. As Mahama's leadership pushes forward, how will this decision influence the continent's broader military policies? Are we on the brink of an Africa that governs its security without Western involvement? Ghana isn't the only one throwing out the old playbook. Africa.
Morning, Gareth. Hi. The US military has about 27 operational bases across the whole African continent.